This is the capsule summary of Funny Boy, a novel in 6 stories by Shyam Selvadurai. A little bit about Shyam. He was born in 1965 and he is a Sri Lankan Canadian novelist. Funny Boy was published in the year 1994. This novel is a historical fiction and a coming of age novel. What is a coming of age novel? Which discusses the protagonist's growing years. Okay, मतलब बचपन से जब तक वो प्यूबर्टी में आता है या अडल्ट बनता है, ये पूरा अगर स्पैन दिखाया जाए एक नॉवल में तो उसे कहते हैं कमिंग ऑफ एज नॉवल. ओके, now this novel deals primarily with, first, communal riots of 1983 in Sri Lanka. I'll tell you a little bit about Sri Lanka's history. In 1980s, these two ethnic sects, one Sinhalese and second Tamils. Sinhalese were in majority, Tamils were in minority, और इनमें बहुत ज़्यादा rift रहता था. Okay, Sinhalese Buddhist है and Tamils Hindu है. So the rift between them, okay, that is what is shown in this novel. So communal riots of 1983, called as Black July. Second, this novel deals with homosexuality. The protagonist, whose name is Arji Chilvaratnam, okay, he is a gay. He comes to realize later that he's a gay. And third, this novel deals with diaspora, which means Arji's family leaves Sri Lanka and emigrates to Canada. Okay, so did you understand a little bit about this novel? Here, there are 6 loosely connected stories which recount the childhood and adolescence of Arji, a Tamil boy. Remember, Arji is a Tamil, okay? He comes of age in Colombo during the 1970s and 80s. Yes, and as I told you, he realizes he's different from the other boys. And also, he confronts the increasingly violent tensions between Sri Lanka's 2 major ethnic groups. कौन से? बताइए मुझे. The Tamils and the Sinhalese. Okay. Now, in this lecture today, I will discuss the first 3 stories of Funny Boy. They are Pigs Can't Fly, Radha Auntie, and third is See No Evil, Hear No Evil. So let's begin with the first story, Pigs Can't Fly. Okay, now Pigs Can't Fly shows Arji as a small boy, as a young child, right? He enjoys his monthly play dates with all his cousins at their grandparents' house. Their grandparents are Amachi and Apache. Okay? Dadi ji and Dadaji, Amachi and Apache. Now, free from the watchful eyes of their parents and also Amachi, these children divide themselves into 2 groups. First, the boys who play cricket in the front yard, and second, the girls who play a game called as Shadi Shadi. Shadi Shadi basically, or in English, if you call it, this game is called as Bride Bride. Now, to everyone's surprise, Arji becomes a part of the girl gang. And he gets the most prestigious role in this fantasy game. Tell me, दुल्हन दुल्हन ब्राइड ब्राइड में कौन सा सबसे important role होना चाहिए? दुल्हन का. Yes. So Arji, the boy, becomes the bride in this game. But now what happens? Their cousin, who is nicknamed Her Fatness, she arrives in the scene and she fights with Arji. She says, तुम नहीं बनोगे दुल्हन, मैं बनूंगी दुल्हन. And after that, Her Fatness actually calls her mother Kanti Auntie. Who is the mother of Her Fatness? Kanti Auntie. So Kanti Auntie comes and sees Arji in a sari because Arji abhi dulhan hai. So, she's horrified. She's shocked. So she and Her Fatness, matlab mummy and daughter, they take Arji out to all the uncles and aunts and Amachi, Apache. Everyone is sitting and everyone is horrified looking at sari-clad Arji. Did you understand this? Now, on this, one uncle, he laughs out loud and labels Arji as a funny one. Imply this as gay. Did you understand? Now, what happens? You have to know this. Arji's parents are very disappointed and they say that from next time, Arji has to play cricket with boys. He cannot play with girls. But next month, Arji actually plans something. What does he plan? Well, he incites or he begins a fight between the boys. Okay. And after that, somehow he convinces her fatness, the cousin, her fatness, कि please मुझे कुछ तो role दे दो इस game में, any role you will give me, I'll take. So he's given the least prestigious role. Tell me what will be the least prestigious role in the game called Bride Bride? Obviously the groom. So now he becomes the doula, okay, in this game of theirs. Now what happens? After some time, the fights start again between her fatness and Arji, and her fatness again humiliates Arji publicly. Yes? And now Amachi, which means Dadiji, blames Arji for this entire conflict, because of which Arji runs out towards the beach to cry. And with this, we finish with the first story of this novel called as Pigs Can't Fly. Can we move to the next story? Yes, we can. It is called Radha Auntie. Kaun hai Radha Auntie? Radha Auntie is Arji's bua, which means Arji's papa's youngest sibling. Okay. Now, after studying for 4 years in America, Radha Auntie has returned home. Everyone is happy to receive her. Well, Arji is not able to recognize Radha Auntie. She's very different from what he thought. But slowly, they develop a very good bond, which means Arji and Radha Auntie, they become very good friends. Now, a little bit about the love life of Radha Auntie. You should know this. She met a family friend when she was studying abroad. The name of that family friend is Rajan. They fell in love with each other and they thought that they will marry. Okay. But now, when Radha Auntie has returned to Sri Lanka and she goes to her school, the new school that she will attend, and she goes there, she takes Arji also there, and they all participate in a play of the school. The name of the play is, remember it, The King and I. Okay, तो अभी The King and I play के जो rehearsals चलते थे, उसके दौरान there is a Sinhalese boy named Anil. Okay, a Sinhalese boy named Anil. He starts liking Radha Auntie, okay? And, he comes once to drop Radha Auntie home. Now, Anil is Sinhalese, but Radha Auntie is a Tamil. So Amachi does not like it at all. She's furious. Why? Because Amachi's papa was killed by a Sinhalese mob, okay? Back in the 1950s, Amachi's Papa was killed in a racial mob. He was murdered brutally, after which Amachi began hating the Sinhalese and supporting the Tamil Tigers. Okay, the Tamil Tigers, it's a separatist militant organization. Okay, अभी इसके बाद ना, hearing all this कि ये क्या हो रहा है, Amachi is very angry, Anil and Radha cannot be together. Arji is curious. He wants to know what is this racial fight happening in Sri Lanka. So he comes to realize, he comes to know about this ethnic division. Okay. And now Amachi threatens Anil's family that dare your son Anil come near my granddaughter, okay, Radha. Now after this, innocent Radha, innocent Arji, they go to Anil's house to apologize to his father. But Anil's father curses them, shouts at them, and says that my son will never marry a non-Sinhalese. Okay? Why will my son marry a non-Sinhalese? And then what happens? Still the love flames are on, and Radha Auntie and Anil are out on a lunch date. Two aunties, they observe them. They go and tell Amachi. Amachi is angry again. So she says to Radha that you go to Jaffna for a few months. What is Jaffna? Jaffna is a city in Sri Lanka in the north. So she says that you go to Jaffna, Radha, for a few months. If you'll stay here, then you will, try and secretly meet Anil, which we don't want. So she's sent off. Radha Auntie is sent off to Jaffna. But having fallen in love, Radha and Anil decide that once they meet again, they will marry. But now there's something happening. On the day of her return, riots begin in the north. Diggy is Arji's brother. He comes and he informs that a Sinhalese mob has attacked the train in which Radha Auntie is traveling. Okay? Because of which, when Radha Auntie enters home, her face is all bruised. She's hurt. Although very soon she recovers, but then she cannot recover from the mental trauma. She cannot now tell herself to meet Anil, who is a Sinhalese. She cannot marry a Sinhalese man. And now, remember Rajan, the first love interest of Radha? So officially, Rajan and Radha, they get engaged. But, in all this scene, Arji somewhere loses his faith in the idea of love. Because till now, Arji felt that if two people love each other, everything is possible. But he saw that no, it is not possible. These races, these ethnic conflicts, they are taking the love away. And this is done. Did you understand? With this, we finish with the second story, Radha Auntie of Funny Boy. Yes? Now, can I take you to the third story? Yes, I can. It is called See No Evil, Hear No Evil. This story starts with Appa. Who is Appa? Arji's papa. He buys a hotel and he goes to Europe on business. When he goes, the family gets a visitor called as Daryl Uncle. Who? Remember the names, okay? Daryl Uncle. He's a wealthy white man who grew up in Sri Lanka, but he has been living in Australia since last 15 years now. He's a journalist. He has returned to Sri Lanka to cover these violence, these ethnic group disorder that is happening, okay? In between this time, Arji falls sick, yes, with hepatitis. And to help him recover from this brief bout of hepatitis, Amma and Daryl Uncle take him to stay at a bungalow on the hills. Did you understand? Kaun gaye hills mein for a vacation? Daryl Uncle, Amma, and Arji. Abhi, when they go there, Arji realizes, or it becomes very clear, that Amma and Daryl Uncle once liked each other, but they could not marry. Why? Again, because of ethnic differences. Yes, because they belong to different ethnic groups. Okay. Now, to Amma's horror, to Amma's sadness, Daryl Uncle says that I want to go to the north to cover the violence. I want to see the government, how the government is acting, how the government is abusing the poor, or how the government is abusing power. Okay. Amma says, please don't go, Daryl, but Daryl does not agree. Okay. And while he is away, the worst happens. Well, violence in the north increases. Okay. And when Daryl does not return, Amma contacts the police, and police hardly cares. Police ignores her, and later they just report that Daryl, he has been washed ashore dead. He has been washed ashore dead on the beach of a fishing village. Oh God. They insist that it was an accident, but Amma does not agree. Amma slowly comes to know that it was actually not an accident, but the Sinhalese-run government in the north is responsible for the murder of Daryl Uncle. Did you understand this? Now, after this, Amma is devastated. She visits the civil rights lawyer, QC Uncle. Okay, QC Uncle is a lawyer whom Amma visits. And QC Uncle encourages her to forget everything and move on. But then she cannot. After that, she visits Daryl's servant. Daryl के एक servant है जिसका नाम है Samaratne. So Amma visits Daryl Uncle's servant Samaratne's village, where this long suffering locals of the village, they actually come and chase her and Arji back to their car. Oh God. Now, after this, Appa returns, but Amma cannot return from her shock, from her solemnity. She is devastated. Okay. And with this, we come to the end of chapter 3. See no evil, hear no evil of the funny boy. For chapter 4, you can follow my next video. I hope you loved it. This is Hina from Team Tess. Happy learning with us.